Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, please make sure to hit the subscribe button and drop a comment down below if you like watching such tutorials because I love filming them. Anyways, for today's video I have this beautiful pink halo eye look. If you're interested to see how I got this, then please keep watching. So to begin with, I'm using my illuminating primer by Maybelline and I'm spreading that using this really soft brush all over her face. This is gonna give her skin a very smooth and soft texture, so the foundation or whatever you apply on top sticks to the skin. Here I'm using a dark brown powder from Dirty Works and I'm using that to basically fill in her eyebrows. She already has really beautiful thick brows, so there was very little work for me here, but like there are little spots here and there that you just fill them in because the look is gonna be super glam, so we want it dark. Then I'm going in with this orange peach color corrector by LA Girl Cosmetics and I'm using this to basically cancel out all the pigmentation and dark circles that she has on her skin. Then I'm going in with my P. Louise base in the shade number 2 and I'm using that to basically carve out the under her brow area, and I'm gonna place that all over her eyelids as a base for her eyeshadow. These bases are really good and they basically what they do is make your eyeshadow color pop a lot more and it just looks a lot more vibrant, and it doesn't move, the shadow doesn't budge on the eyes, it doesn't spread anywhere else, it stays where you place it. So here I just take my time in carving the brows because as we said, the eyebrows really need to be sharp because the eye look is so dark and prominent. So if the brows are messy, the eye look will also look messy with them. So you need to make sure that each and every step that you're doing here, especially the eye area, needs to be super clean and super neat. Then here I'm basically spreading the same base all over her eyelids. And then I'm going in with this really puffy blending brush and I'm using that to basically press in the base into her eyelids so it's nice and smooth. Now I'm using a really light brown eyeshadow from my Color Studio palette from Beauty Glaze. This palette is literally the only palette I use for all of my eye looks, and it literally has every single shade you ever need and the pigmentation is beautiful on it. Now I'm using a magenta pink color from the same palette and I'm gonna place that all across her crease area and basically blend it in. This is gonna be our transition shade in a way because we will be lightening it out as we work. So on top of this I'm using a dark brown shade. This is to deepen the color of the pink because we will be cutting a little center part for our halo area using the same P. Louise base, but this time I'm using the shade 1. This is a tiny bit lighter than the previous shade and it's basically I chose this because the glitter needs to look more vibrant than the shadow around it. So I placed that. Then I'm using this Focalier loose pigment. This is in the shade 13 Crystal and it's really beautiful on the eyes. Then around it I'm using this Revolution makeup, this Rebound. It's like a cream glitter consistency. I don't know how to explain it. It's very creamy. It's almost like a gel, but it's super blendable and it's so beautiful on the eyes. Then I'm using a black shade around that instead of going in with the simple brown because I want the eye look to be super dark. I'm using a black shade directly on the both sides of the halo glitter that we placed, and this is just gonna darken up the eye look a lot more, even though it doesn't look blended right now, but it will look blended by the time we finish. Then I'm using my Face Studio Prime by Maybelline, the illuminating one that we used in the beginning, mixed with the NYX Away We Glow strobing cream. This is just going to give us a very illuminating base. The NYX strobe cream is so beautiful. I think it is a dupe for the MAC one. This one looks so stunning on the skin and it's very minimal, but when you apply the foundation on top you see the difference. And here I'm using Touch and Shine Cosmetics foundation and this is in the shade 4. This shade, I think it's a universal shade in their collection. I've used the same foundation on people from all around different skin tones and it somehow matches on every single person, and it's so crazy to me because I feel this is the only foundation like 90% of the time that I reach out for in their collection. And it's so beautiful. The finish is so pretty. You can build it up, you can, you know, have a very natural glowy base with it, like a no makeup look. You can also have like a bridal look with it at the same time. This foundation is super like multi-use, and it's so beautiful. One of my all-time favorites, honestly. Here I'm using a flat base brush for basically, you know, dabbing the foundation in. I'm making sure not to go really rough on this, and I'm just doing patting motions instead of dragging ones. And this is just going to make sure the foundation sticks to where you're placing it instead of like leaving streaky marks all across her skin. Then of course on top of that, I'm using a damp beauty blender to blend that foundation in as well, to make it as, you know, skin-like as possible. Then I'm using a concealer from Touch and Shine Cosmetics as well, and this is in the shade 2, and this is also so pretty. The consistency of the concealers are super thick and creamy, and they literally did such a great job at like hiding her pigmentation, and it just looked like she never had them, you know. So beautiful. Then I'm using the same brush for basically blending out the concealer with the foundation. And this is going to basically, what it does is like, you know, whatever, it doesn't make the concealer look weird on the skin. It all looks blended together because the little bit of foundation that we had on the brush kind of like, you know, blends in with the concealer, because you don't want it to look like it's separately placed on the under eye part, even though we want the under eye to look like vibrant and more like, you know, out there. It needs to still blend with the whole face, otherwise it's gonna look weird. Now I'm using my Maybelline concealer in the shade 55. It is a concealer, but I use it as a cream contour because, you know, there's no rules in makeup. Do whatever you want as long as it works and it looks good. So this is another concealer shade that works on majority of my Indian skin tone, olive skin tone clients, and it looks so pretty, and it like always matches the undertone majority of the time. So it's like a must, you know, thing in my kit for sure. I'm using a beauty blender to dab that in, and then I use my Wet n Wild contour palette, and I'm using the medium to dark one, I think it's called, and I'm using that to basically, you know, I'm placing it all right above the area where I applied the cream contour. This is just gonna have a powder finish to it and make it set in place, and the, you know, because too many liquids will move, so you always need like a powder to set it in place so it doesn't budge at all. I'm using the same contour powder to basically contour her nose and give it a very beautiful, you know, slim effect. Then here my camera kind of stopped recording in the middle, but I used my RCMA no color powder to basically set the under eye area and like, you know, the areas we apply the concealer at. Then I used my e.l.f. Cosmetics blush palette, and I used the peach color on her cheeks. It's so pretty. Now I'm using these lashes. These are like drugstore lashes I got, but they're like the bridal style, like super heavy glam. And I placed them on her eyes, and you see after placing the lashes, the whole eye looks so blended, and it just looks so like flawless, and everything is like so on point. But like before in this, right, it looked like the black wasn't merging with the pink, but now it does, you know what I mean? Like you just need to like go with the flow and don't overthink anything. Now I basically clean her lips using a earbud and a makeup remover. So we have the foundation off. Then I did apply a little bit of labello on her lips, and now I'm going in with the Huda Beauty liquid matte lipstick in the shade Spice Girl, and I'm using that to basically, you know, line her lips and give it like the dark ombre lip effect that we're gonna do here. And I take my time with it. I'm using a very like small brush here for precision so it doesn't get messy. I feel like I struggle the most with lips in the makeup application. I don't know why it happens for some reason. Then I'm using this the same Huda Beauty liquid lipstick, but in the shade Trendsetter. After I place the shade on the center part of her lips, I use the, you know, I clean the brush off a little bit, and I use it to basically merge the brown and the pink together so it doesn't look weird. And then I go in with my Wet n Wild clear gloss, and I'm using that to basically, you know, add shine to the lips because I felt like this look needed gloss instead of matte. And then we switched it up to gloss, which I'm so happy I did because it looks so much more better with the gloss lips here. So once I'm done with applying the gloss, I use my Wet n Wild Precious Petals, I always get confused with the name, whatever it is called, that highlighter, and it's the prettiest highlighter I've ever used. I think it beats Huda Beauty and MAC and like Strobe, whatever. Like, this highlighter is the best powder highlighter I've ever used, and it's so pretty on skin. It looks so like dewy and like glowy, and like it has no glitter chunks in it, so it doesn't look artificial. It looks like your skin is literally glowing, you know, super pretty. So I apply this on the high points of her face, her nose, her bridge of the nose. Y'all get ready for her reaction. It is the cutest thing ever.
Oh my god, yes.
Okay.
Oh my god. Oh god. My god.
Thank you.
Wow, seriously, yaar. How much you have worked on my eyes.
I get so excited when they like how they look. It literally makes my whole day. Anyways, this is the final look. I hope you guys liked this video. I hope you enjoyed watching this tutorial. If you did, please make sure to leave a like, hit the subscribe button. It means the world to me if you support my channel, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.